Okay, welcome. We are live, yes? Welcome to Behind the Hauntings. This is our special edition called My Haunted Home, where we help people who are having crazy experiences in their homes. Are they paranormal? Are they not? What's going on? And that's what we're here to figure out. Our first home tonight is Christine. We don't have Christine on with us. A lot of people don't want to be necessarily on camera or, um, you know, seen because not everyone believes in the paranormal. And for some people, it's hard to share that information. Let me put my earbuds in for you guys because I feel like there's feedback. Okay. This house has had a lot of unusual activity. She believes someone may have passed on the property. There's just this constant sense of, like things moving, opening, doors opening, feeling like someone's there, which I feel like is kind of what a lot of people say when they have paranormal activities. They feel like they're being watched, or they just feel like someone's always there, which has got to be very unnerving. So we're going to dive in and see if we can get into it and clear the space if needed, find out if there's someone there, who is it, what's going on. For anyone that doesn't know, my name's Maryam. I'm a psychic medium. We've got Harlow, the producer, writer, creator, researcher, whatever you think needs to get done, she does it. And then Denise, psychic medium, doula, Reiki, tarot, whatever else you need done, Denise will help you with that too. So we're going to jump into this home. What we do is sometimes I remote view, sometimes I bring myself like fully into the location, sometimes I don't have to go fully into the location. It just depends on the situation. Same with Denise, if you want to describe like how you sort of get a feel for a space.
Yeah, I usually like just feel in my actual body, like where I feel the energy and how it comes in for me and where I feel it. It's, which side of my body comes in, where it means it's, or who it is.
Gotcha. So it looks like Paige has just jumped in, and hold on, I can't. Well, hello, Paige.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Let me
We
turn
were
my
gonna
light. It's dark in
we
here.
yes, we were gonna do Christine first, but we've got Paige, so let's do Paige first. Paige, can you do me a favor? Can you turn your phone horizontal so we can see the big part of you?
That good? Or no?
Um, like this. Just do it
Let's
that
see.
do it that way so that it goes this way and we can see all of you. You see what I mean? And if you can't, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can. It's not. Let me
It's not
see.
letting you? Okay. Hey,
Mm-mm.
thank you for joining us. Why don't you tell us what's been going on in your home?
Well, I I don't think it's like necessarily the home itself. I think it's mostly the property that we're on. But I've lived here my entire life. We live right next to my parents right now, literally right across the driveway. But my entire life we've had weird experiences. When I was a little girl, my mom would experience like heavy weights on her chest when she'd wake up at night. Um, and it sounded like somebody was talking through like a radio kind of, but we would never be able to understand what they were saying. And that kind of went on throughout until I was probably 16, and then my house burnt down. And then that kind of stopped. But we've still had like weird experiences, like toys moving around, just hearing voices. Sometimes I'll hear like my I've heard like all my family's voices, but I'll hear like my sister's voice, but she won't be around.
Interesting. I'm listening. I'm looking at the pictures you sent me on my phone as you talk. Continue.
When I was writing into you the first time and kind of explained a little bit and told you I kind of wanted to stop. I wanted to stop feeling watched all the time and, you know, like there's always eyes on me. I got the biggest headache for hours. I mean, it would not go away. And it felt like everything around me was just super heavy almost. Like I was kind of being persuaded not to do this.
Interesting. And how, when you got that feeling, how did that make you feel? Like, what did that make you want to do this more, or were you like, maybe I shouldn't do this?
I was a little concerned about not doing it just because I am personally scared of it. I don't like dealing with it. I don't like feeling watched. I don't want things to escalate because of it, but I've also never felt necessarily threatened, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. So when your house burnt down, is that on the same property that you're on now that you're referencing?
Yes. Yep. It was when I lived with my parents, it was actually their house that burnt down.
Do we know how that happened?
Nobody knows. No.
So that's weird, right?
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah, I thought that seemed a little weird to me too. So you sent me pictures of your property, and is that your house or their house?
Oh, my house is the one that looks like it's been abandoned a couple times. It has been. We fixed it up. But their house is actually across from us. It's you can't see it very well in the photo, but it's the brown manufactured home.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But you don't have any experiences in that home. You're having them in your home.
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time you had something happen that really bothered you? Was it basically this incident of you feeling like someone saying like you shouldn't be doing this?
Yeah, that was the last time. But there was also a few weeks ago, my son was playing with his bulldozer toy and his semi truck. And he drove the semi truck across the room and walked on the other side of the room and grabbed his bulldozer, sat down with it, was just rocking it, And then the semi truck came back into the living room. I mean, it was still for a long time. And it just came rolling back into the living room, and it scared me. I was scared.
So let's talk about that. When you saw that, what was the feeling? Can you describe a little bit more what the feeling was when you, besides scared, I don't want to put words in your mouth. So give me some other words, or like, even if it sounds crazy, like, was there someone there? Was there?
I was like, wait, did I actually just see that? Like, I had to take a minute and actually comprehend what I just watched happen. It was, I don't know, it just kind of.
How long were you scared for until it passed?
A while. I mean, I'm still, when I think about it, I still get a little, oof, like it was just, it's freaked me out a lot.
Okay. So I have, for those that are watching, I have Paige send, all the clients, I have them send me a lot of pictures of everyone who lives there, animals included, pictures of the property, pictures of inside. And this is your husband. You sent me your wedding photo.
That's my dad walking me down. And then I think I sent you one of my husband and I.
Oh, there he is. He had the goatee.
Yep.
You have, the reason why I have them send pictures of everyone in the home is because you never know who is sometimes someone's triggering it, not on purpose, not because they mean to, not because they're dark, but they're triggering it because they're the ones that are supposed to have the lesson, the experience. They're the ones that are connected to this energy for whatever reason. It's their karma, it's their moment. And sometimes it's not. But I also want to get a feel for all the people in the space and go, is somebody carrying an energy, not like an attachment, but is someone carrying a darker energy that's without knowing instigating something like this? As I'm looking through your family, all of your dad, your husband, your family, everyone is, has beautiful energy. So we know that what that's telling me is that this is an energy that's feels right now, it feels disconnected from you guys. But I am looking at, you have two sons, right?
Yeah, I have.
The-
My oldest is 10, and my youngest is 3, and then I have a baby girl.
okay, so I'm looking at the oldest son. Do you mind telling me his first name, or you can give me a fake name just so I have a name to reference him?
His name's Dallas.
So there's a connection that Dallas has with this energy. Talk to me about, has he talked at all about it, felt anything, said anything?
He is very, how do I put this? He's tried to communicate with ghosts before. He's brought it up to me a lot of times that he wants to talk to ghosts. And, I've never really talked to him about anything like that, but he just kind of woke up one day and wanted to do it. When he was a baby, though, he used to talk to, walls and corners and stuff. He's been, he has like really high functioning ADHD. So he's like already full of energy and stuff. So I feel like he does have like some sort of connection to things like that.
Okay. So I would recommend setting up a session if you'd like one day. The three of us can talk, and he can talk to me about what he wants to do, and I can walk you guys through that, help you guys with that so that he feels like he's in a comfortable space to do that. In the meantime, as I was saying, someone instigating this. I think we found our culprit.
Okay.
Sorry, his name, what was his first name?
Dallas.
Dallas, that's what I thought. Okay. So this energy that you're experiencing, what's happening is you're scared for good reason. It's weird and scary when you feel like something is in your space that you didn't invite.
Mm-hmm.
But this energy, and I'll get into who it is and what it is, it feels very welcomed there because of Dallas.
Okay.
And it's not that Dallas is doing anything wrong. It's that Dallas has a new friend, and he may not even realize what he's doing, but there's a welcoming sense that this spirit has. It's like, well, someone wants me here, so why would I not be here? What's your younger son's name?
Daxton.
Daxton with the D as in David?
Yep.
Daxton is more nervous about this energy, would rather it not be there, would rather not deal with this. But Dallas seems to attack things head on, and he'll keep running until he hits a wall, metaphorically, but maybe that's even literally.
Sounds a lot like him.
So let me Denise, jump in anytime.
I get a sense of this energy. It loves your son. Like your son was like, it's just this bright white light to the energy. And I get almost like a grandparent energy around this entity that's there. And it's like, it wants to play with the kids. I don't know if you have any deceased grandparents.
My grandma recently passed away.
I think there may be more than one energy there. Keep going, Denise.
Yeah, because I do feel like grandma is there. Did she meet all three kids?
Yes. Well, no, she didn't meet my daughter.
Okay.
Just the boys.
Just the boys. Okay. Um, was she not well?
What was that?
Was your grandmother ill?
Yeah.
Was your grandmother ill?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think she was playing with the truck with your younger son because she didn't get the chance to really play with him like she would have liked to. And
Okay.
so now she's kind of taking that opportunity a little bit to play with him. He is definitely uncomfortable with it, though. He's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. She was a big character, and I feel like she always like kind of made, I don't know, when I was little, every time she tried to play with me, I was like, no, go away, like you're weird. So I kind of, resonate with that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's on your property, because you are the one that said you feel like it's on your property more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
So there's this very large presence. Can I ask what state you're in?
Idaho.
Okay. There's this very large presence that sits behind your house.
Okay.
And your parents' house burnt down. It was electrical.
Okay.
And there was a wire that was frayed. And there's a lot because of this. Okay, so bear with me for a sec. So there's this presence that lives behind your home, and don't worry, we'll take care of it. And it's on the land, just like you said. It is on the land. It's not your home specifically, okay? And it generates like an electrical force through that property in a circular motion. It's similar to, say, like, when you shock each other, like you shock yourself, like if you rub your, when you're walking with, and it's like, it's that kind of energy, but it's bigger. Okay. And it moves like this. And this presence, it works with it has some sort of alignment with weather patterns. Was it, when the house burnt down, I'm feeling like wet, cold, or was it during the cold season?
No, I think it was probably summertime.
There's something wet and cold that influenced and started this fire. So whether it's a basement or an attic, there was something wet and cold that started this fire.
Okay.
But here's the thing. If the fire was on any other piece of property, it probably wouldn't have exploded as much as it did.
Yeah,
But
it was my house. The house was gone like so fast. We wouldn't, if we were home, we wouldn't have time to take it out.
Wow. So that's where I'm saying this energy that lives behind your home, it works with weather patterns, and it lifted it up and just took it out. Okay. So this presence, I'm not sure what to call it, that's behind your home. Hold on, let me find it. It's like a black cloud that sits behind the home. But your family, your husband's side of the family, energy is all very uplifting. And so it literally counteracts this presence that is sort of barreling down on this property. I'm feeling for some reason I'm being shown like a whole, like an army and even Navy.
Wow. Both of my grandpas were in the Navy. I don't know if that would have anything to do with it.
But this energy is opposing. Were your grandfathers at a higher ranking level?
My my great grandfather actually had the Purple Heart. He was pretty high up there. He was in World War II.
Because I'm feeling opposing forces. This is opposing forces that are opposing the opposite side to where your grandfathers were. They were opposing your grandfathers, and there's your hold on. I'm trying to figure out what its problem is. And it feels like it's like I'm seeing it as like this big black cloud, but yet I'm speaking to it as if it's one entity, yet it feels like it has a whole army behind it. Can you give me your great grandfather's name?
Jim Palmer.
He passed?
Yeah.
How old?
I'm not really sure. I think he was in his 60s. I don't think he was
64 is what I heard. Okay, so they don't this army doesn't want you on this land. There's we need to push back on it. There's a history on this land that goes back, and it's there's this sense of wanting to take over, conquer the land. And so there's this whole military base that died. That's my dogs. There's this whole group of military, like a military base. Was there a military base there before?
I don't know. We live in the country area.
I'm just there. It's like they will not give me information on who they are, and they will not on who they are and why they're just adamant about overtaking this property. What's interesting though is you have this is why I asked about military, because this feels like a military group, and then I feel your grandfathers. There's all three of the grandfathers have passed, because I'm feeling 3.
As far as I know, just my grandpa Jim, and I have a grandpa Rick, but he's still living. And I wouldn't know about a third grandfather, but I have a very large family, so.
Okay, so Grandpa Jim for sure, and there's 2 other men here. There's 3 men. So here's what's crazy is we have your house, okay? Here's the front door. Here's the back of your house, okay? In the back of your house, you have this huge black cloud, which is representative of this military that I'm referencing, this army. And in front of that black cloud, between the black cloud and your house, are three men, and they're three generals. One of them is Grandpa Jim, and there's two others, and they are holding back this force, just the three of them by themselves.
Wow.
What that means is that this is why nobody was in the house when it burnt down. You were being taken care of. B, this is preventing anything bigger or scarier from happening in your home. Your son wanting to speak to ghosts, wanting to connect to spirits, is sensing and feeling all these people that are running around behind your home. And they will move through the home, but they'll just literally move through it and out. They're not staying in it.
Okay.
These three grandfathers are holding back this entire military force. I'm referring to them as your three grandfathers because that's what they're telling me.
Yeah.
And that can be, like a literal ancestral type thing, or it is, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily your immediate, although I definitely know Grandpa Jim is there.
That's awesome.
Is any of it related to indigenous wars? Because there were a lot of Indian skirmishes in Idaho.
I don't think we are.
Sorry, say that again.
I don't think we're related.
Just in Idaho in general, there were quite a few, though. The
Oh, yeah, just in Idaho.
Yeah, there were a lot. There were some really big ones.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was a really big thing up here.
Mm-hmm.
What was a really big thing up there?
Especially with Chief Joseph and the Nez Perce War. That was huge.
Sorry, Harlow, say that again.
Chief Joseph and the Nez Perce tribe, that was a big thing in Idaho. That was a big, huge conflict.
Okay, and then Paige, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, up in, like 15 minutes, no. Yeah, like 15 minutes away from us, there were a lot of, like, Indian tribes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all around us, up in Island Park and Ashton and everywhere.
Okay.
In Preston, yeah, that was like Bear River Massacre with the Shoshone. That was big too.
And that's where you're at, Preston?
Yeah. It's close to her, right?
Yeah, it's pretty close. I'm in Chester.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know if I can do anything with this.
Okay.
Let me see. It's a standoff. And I don't know, this is the visual. So you got your three grandfathers, you have this whole army of men. And then it's like, I'm kind of going in the middle going, hey, can we not do this anymore? And I don't know if that's, if I have any say in this. So hold on. People are pissed. Okay.
So
I don't think I can fix this. Yes, go ahead.
Is that why I'm feeling like watch? Is that, or could that be somebody else?
Say that again.
Is that why I feel watched, or could that be somebody else?
We can double check and see if there's more, but I definitely would feel like it's this because you've got literally an army facing the back of your house. Okay. So that would make you feel watched. Yes. But we can dig in, see if there's something more specific. Here's where I want to leave this in this moment, because there's nothing I can do about this.
Okay.
We need some. This is a ancestral, huge ordeal that involves people other than me. What I can tell you is this, Paige, is you have your three. You can refer to them as my three grandfathers. Okay. And their backs are against the back of your building. So no one's going to hurt you. And the army that they are facing doesn't care about you guys. They're not there to harm you or do anything to you. Their intention is to take over the land.
Okay.
That is very different than having someone in your home kind of moving stuff around,
Yeah.
being annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
One sec. I'm going to come back. You and your son, Paige, may be the key to resolving this war that's happening behind your home.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, as I mentioned earlier, everybody has karma and everyone has a connection to what's happening to them. And usually that's because it is for you all to help resolve a situation.
Okay.
So I will, in an email, I will follow up on what this all will look like.
Okay.
And give you more detail and description on how to manage this. I'll have to go into meditation for a few days because this is such a deep rooted issue and it needs to be resolved.
Thank you.
Now, talk to me about feeling like you're being watched.
Especially at like night when I, get up to get baby a bottle or something, or sometimes literally just sitting in the living room in the middle of the day, I'll just randomly feel like somebody's there with me, kind of watching me, but like in a creepy sense. Like, I don't know, it just gives me the shivers and makes me want to leave the area.
What do they feel like to you?
They just feel creepy, like, I don't know, kind of kind of pervy, but kind of not. I don't know how to explain it.
That's
It's
okay.
really creepy.
Denise, what do you got, Denise, on the perv that's in her house?
It's more like, I do feel like it's a masculine energy that's there. And I don't think it's there to harm. It's curious. Like, what's going on? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it that way?
Why? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's almost like it's lurking.
I see him in like a corner, like next to where you put your Christmas tree.
Yeah. So I should probably mention, this house, before we lived here and before my brothers lived here, my grandma lived here for a long, long time. And she would always tell me that she would feel watched too. Like, she And then when my brothers lived here, they said they felt watched. And, you know, my youngest brother who lived here started using drugs, and he was getting really paranoid, and he messed this place up completely. We fixed it up before we moved in. But every single one of them had experiences. So it's just,
Okay, we can clear this guy.
Mm-hmm.
that'd be great.
Yeah, he's behind your Christmas tree, which is that your Christmas tree that's up right now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
behind
he
it in
thinks
that
he's
corner.
hiding behind there like we're not going to see him. It's like, sorry, dude. Yes, we are.
His name's Jeff.
Oh my God.
Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Who's Jeff?
He's my brother's dad. He he um he took his life when my brother was little.
Did you know him?
No. But he meant so much to my brothers, you know. And my brother had pictures of him everywhere when he lived here, and they always talked about him. And he was drunk, and he I'm sure he was a great guy. I mean, my brothers loved him, and it just when you said that, it just that's crazy.
So let's do this. Let's leave the memory of Jeff as everyone remembers him. So we won't dig in. And I won't dig into the fact that you feel uncomfortable with him there. Let's just help him over. Denise, when you said he was hiding, it's because he is scared.
Mm-hmm.
So, Paige, just close your eyes for a minute. And I want you to put your hands out. They palms face up. They can be like on your knees or on your table. Like put them out as if you're wanting someone to place their hands on top of yours. And we're asking him to reach out, hold our hands. If you're at home and watching and you'd like to help, we always encourage the help. So we're all holding Jeff's hand in a circle. Jeff is scared. Life was very hard for him. And it was even scary for him when he passed. And so he's in between because he's unsure. He doesn't feel like he is worthy of going to the other side. He doesn't feel like he's worthy of light, of being loved, of being taken care of. He feels like he did a lot of bad things. And so he's scared that he's not going to be welcomed on the other side. But although Jeff, like all of us, we've all done things that we aren't proud of. I don't feel like Jeff ultimately meant harm. So what we're going to do is ask him to start to lift his chin. And have him focus on looking up. And make sure you're not squeezing his hands, but you just allow his hands to rest on top of yours so that he can be received by his guides. He's still saying he doesn't feel worthy, but he is. Keep lifting his chin so he allows himself to move forward. Tell me when somebody feels him moving on. He's having a little bit of a hard time wanting to go. He's just scared.
It's getting lighter for
Okay.
him.
Okay, good. You might have to kind of nudge him, Denise.
I'm letting him know that it's okay, that it's safe for him to go to the other side, and that he can have a deeper connection with his boys over there than he can from here. And he's starting to slowly turn that direction. He's got his face, but he's got his eyes closed. So we just need to get him to open his eyes so he can see.
And let's remind him he will not be punished. That's not what happens.
Mm-mm. I'm letting him know that a lot of times the stories we may have been told or heard when we were children are not true. I'm asking him to open his eyes. He's starting to see the light.
Mm-hmm.
And he's feeling the joy from the other side. It's almost like he has a tear coming out of one of his eyes that he was never able to actually have in real life. That trust,
Mm.
that belief. He didn't mean to make people here uncomfortable. He just did not know where to go. He's grateful for being allowed to stay. And he is sorry that he made you nervous. He trusts now that all will be well. And he wants to thank you for the gift of recognizing him and sharing his name. And now I'm asking him if he's ready to go. And he's like walking up what we would think of as stairs. And he feels lighter. And he's taking one last glance over his shoulder and giving a nod. And now he's slowly disappearing into the mist. He's free.
Denise, that was so beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. How do you feel, Paige?
Relieved, but at the same time, like I kind of feel bad now. Just knowing, like, because I know 110% that it was him now. I wasn't just like a creep.
Something, it's okay, Paige.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know, for people who watch my videos, a lot of times, like the feeling always starts off as creepy and scary because
Mhm.
it's fair, Paige, for you to feel like there's an invasive aspect to it. Because think about it, if your neighbor just walked into your home unannounced and didn't knock, you would be like, hey, whoa, what are you doing? You
Yeah.
know, if you don't have that relationship. And
Right.
and even if your neighbor is the nicest guy in the world and didn't mean any harm, you would still feel like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the same thing here. So
Mhm.
it's totally normal for us to feel like, and especially when you have a history of other people feeling that, and so it's okay. And then once you realize what's really happening, you're like, oh, I'm uncomfortable because it's this unknown energy in my home. That's
Right.
what that weird thing is. And you feeling watched is fair because he
Mhm.
was hiding because he was scared. So his uncomfortable energy was making you uncomfortable
Mhm.
because
That makes
he's
sense.
like, why am I here? And I'm at? Like everything is just so uncomfortable.
Right. And in body, he may not have known you, but in spirit, he did know who you were.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was trying to figure you out. And
Yeah.
not in a creepy way, but he was trying to figure you out. Like, what's a girl? What's a sister? Like so it was more curiosity on his
Yeah.
behalf
Mhm.
of,
Well, it
and
makes sense. I mean, I'd want to know, you know,
yeah,
who my ex-wife's daughter is too,
right. Yeah, 100%. So it was more of that kind of thing. And because in body, he never got to be a grandparent, so he's fascinated with your children and not in a okay, so that's the grandparent energy I felt. Okay. So
Hmm.
it might not have been your grandmother. I think it was him playing with your son, and your son was uncomfortable because, again, he was uncomfortable because he's like, should I be playing with him? Should I not be playing with him? So he would, so when that truck moved, he just was like, well, let me just give it a go and see what happens. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
he wasn't trying to be creepy and, stalkerish, but he came
It
across
happens.
that way.
Okay.
It happens.
It turns out it happens when you're not quite with it.
And you
But
know what, Paige? You have a lot of different, like you have a lot of different energies moving through that land.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
this may not be the last time. You also have a son who is anxious to do
meet
this
them.
work. Yeah.
I was talking to them about you. He's right there
So
in the kitchen.
so you have a lot of reason to believe that you may have other energies moving through your home at some point. But I think we did the heavy lifting tonight. So
Okay.
I'll send you an email. If you're ever comfortable, I won't charge you. I really enjoy working with kids. So if your son ever wants to have a conversation, we can. But I'll send you an email on how to deal with the army that's living behind your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
um,
White
anything else from
flag.
us? White flag, yes.
All right. Well, thank
Anything
you
else
guys
for
so
us,
much.
Paige?
I don't think so. You guys did amazing. Helped me out a lot. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, I'll shoot you an email. If you don't hear from me by
Perfect.
Sunday, email me, okay? And say, hey,
Okay.
don't forget me. I'm here, okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, you guys. Great work as always, Denise. Thank you,
Thank you.
Harlow. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another episode. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.